In he gets. Does he?
I hope they weren't fighting just to get close enough to their fuel line. That other car was in the way. The Plato's car was in its, pardon me.
Patrick Welsh made the observation that it was very, very crowded there, and both of the cars came in, well, not quite at the same time, but they were still working on the Plato car when this car came in, and there was a definite crush there. They've had to manoeuvre the car back and forward to get it into position. There doesn't appear to be anything wrong with the vehicle. They are now frantically getting on with the business of checking fueling, tyres, etc. Still no tyre on the right rear. There it goes now. Derek Warwick finally is behind the wheel. Here comes car 2. Paul Morris was in second place. Well, it was inherited the lead when Plato came in, of course. So now he'll give up the lead, and
but he's got one other nice advantage, Gary. He came in on lap 32, so from a strategic point of view, BMW arithmetic spot on there.
And Jeff Brabham will move into the lead as in comes one of the Peugeots.
Patrick Watts.
Patrick Watts in Peugeot 26. That means that Neil Crompton will be taking over from him. But if that Vauxhall Vectra pit stop was delayed as much as it was simply because of a bad manoeuvring of the car in front, that is, to put it mildly, a great, great pity.
Let's find out, because David Tapp's got Peter Brock.
Yes, Gary Wilkinson, Peter Brock with me here in the pits. What went wrong there?
Pardon?
What went wrong there?
What went wrong, very simply, is the crowd of press people were allowed to spill out the pit lane, and I couldn't get in tight enough to get into the refuelling bay. So it's cost us a lot of time. The guys were trying to push the car around, but I guess they haven't not been used to this long-distance racing at this track. It's been going on for 20 years with photographers rushing in around it, swarming in. But we've lost a lot of time in that because the car's running perfectly.
Car 23, Alan Jones, taking over from Graham Moore in the second of the two Renault Lagunas, which came in 9th position. By the way, we're on lap 33 now.
Graham Moore, sterling job. He's been coming here for a long time. 25 starts at Bathurst for Graham Moore, placed in classes here previously, always working hard to put together a deal to bring a good team to Bathurst, and this year he has pulled off one of the greatest coups of all time.
Look at the badge on his shoulder there. That's the BRDC badge, the British Racing Drivers Club, the creme de la creme.
Let's take a look at what Peter Brock saw as he came into the pit. Now look at this. This is how Brock had to try and get into the proper pit bay for this change.
Yes, that's bad luck. That really is poor management on the part. There's a lot of officials in that pit lane. They should have realized that around lap 30, 31 people would be coming in.
Derek Warwick there, 147 Grand Prix. He's in the Brock car. He is in 12th position. And he'll start searing his way through the field. There'll be a mild red mist in front of Derek Warwick's eyes. It won't affect his judgment or his control of the car. But you saw from his body language when he was in the pit lane that he was frustrated and irritated. And I've seen Derek Warwick in frustrated and irritated states before, and I would not at all like to be in his way at the present moment.
So the top 10 at this point after 33 laps. The Brabham & Brabham BMW continues to lead. Then the Richards Neal Nissan still going well and yet to stop. Alain Menu now in the Renault Laguna in 3rd place. The Audi Quattro of Brad Jones in 4th. And the McConville Honourable Quattro in 5th. Then Morris in 6th position. Richards in the Volvo in 7th. The Watts Crompton Peugeot in 8th. Harvey now at the wheel of the Peugeot in 9th, and Alan Jones now at the wheel of the Renault in 10th.
Let's check them all the way to 20. Bailey and Luff in 11th spot. Richards and Riley in 12th. Warwick and Brock have slipped down to 13th after that mess up in the pit lane. Searle and Fuller 14th. Nilsson and McLean in 15th. 16th position held by Newman and Bewley. Barclay, Thompson and Cornish in 17th. Nelson Matthews and Holden, 1966 winner Bob, in 18th spot. Bates and Adderton running 19th. Chapman and Bradshaw at this place round out the top 20 in the great race for 1997.
Race leader, Jeff Brabham.
And as he pulls in, we'll take you down to Patrick Welsh.
Gary, everything going very, very smoothly for the BMW team. This a scheduled stop. Now, check the changeover of drivers. No seat change whatsoever. They worked out David, who's just a little smaller than Jeff, needed a pad at his back. So what he's done is strapped it inside his suit. He's strapped it inside his racing suit, so no change in the seat. So that will save time. Fuel going in, full 80 litres. 4 new tyres. A little bit of a bump I've noticed on the right front, so he has touched something. I'll check with Jeff what happened there once he gets a chance to cool down from this lengthy stint in the car. But everything going as planned down here. Fuel just about finished. Out goes the fuel. Still a problem at the back. Away we go.
Yeah, just a slight hesitancy there at the finish, but a good stop nonetheless. They came in as the race leaders. We'll check where they rejoin.
Well, that was a 37-second pit stop, and when Jason Plato came in, it was 47 seconds. So Jess Brabham has gained 10 seconds there.
Joining the track in 5th position. Yes, at the other end of the pit lane, the number 1 Audi is in. Pat Welsh is there.
Should be a regulation stop here for the Audis. Just wandering down now. It's all action, as we predicted, between laps 32 and 40. There is plenty of action here. Unfortunately, I'm walking past the Cleland car, which is still parked there. But as I said, Gary, the BMW's very, very happy with the way things are going at the moment. And hopefully I'll get a chance to chat to Jeff Brabham very shortly. But the number 1 Audi car about to come out.
And it was in 2nd position. Now, I can tell you that Frank Bieler, who is without doubt the greatest touring car champion in the world now, he's been world champion, German champion, French champion and British champion, but he's suffering from flu quite badly. He's been keeping out of the car as much as he could up to now in the hope that it would go away. But now he's got the ultimate challenge. The car's done 38 laps. It was in 2nd position when it came in.
Rejoining the race in 6th.
Oh,
look at this.
Yeah.
One of the Lagunas.
That's the Richards car, and it's the one that matters on the left. It's not
car 3.
No, it's the Jones car. It's Alan Jones's car and Graham Moore's car, the Renault Laguna, and they are very clearly out of the race. And yes, the safety car's coming out now.
And they're going to be hard-pressed to get either one of those running again today.
Let's see it on replay. Flags are waving frantically to slow the cars down as they come into the cutting, because as you can see, there is just no room there. Here it is on replay. Coming into the cutting. There's the wheel. Oh, the Laguna has just hit the wall. He's had a brake lock up.
Well, we've unjustly accused Jan Nielsen. He just missed what he could do.
Do you think Alan was still on cold tyres or a hydraulic failure?
Oh,
he's been out long enough to have warm tyres.
It went in so fast, it really did. It could have been a suspension failure. I wouldn't want to hazard a guess on that one, Murray.
Well, look at the way everybody's closing up now. You see, they come around the corner, they see the yellow flags, they slow down.
We're developing a red flag situation here, Murray. Some of those other cars elected not to go by, so we've got a traffic jam in the cutting. And I would think the Clark, of course, has got to seriously think about a red flag here. Now they're trying to get by. The Volvo did get running again. So nice to see that they weren't the victim of this accident, but whatever happened, Alan Jones went in there at a heck of a pace.
Yeah, he's pretty fed up.
Well, so he would be too, because, I mean, he went out of the race in spectacular fashion last year with a fire that almost cooked him, and now slamming into the wall in the cutting with what must have been some failure, mechanical failure in the car, because he'd had, well, I wasn't counting, but since Graham Moore got out and Alan Jones got in, he must have had 3 laps at least.
Yeah,
so
I think you're right.
He'd have had heat in the tyres without any doubt. He'd had, 7 laps. So he'd had 7 laps behind the wheel. So it's not a question of cold tyres. There's definitely some failure there coming into the corner.
That, or he may have hit an oil slick. It's very hard to see the oil, and it might not have taken much. He is looking back as if to say, what was going on there?
Right, wait, you can see the arrow there, that's at the BP cutting, climbing hard and completely unsighted as you come around that tremendously tight left-hander as they winch the Alan Jones car onto the recovery truck. But now, of course, a lot of people who are bright will pile into the pits, will pile up into the pit lane to get their stops done while the safety...
I'm not so sure about that, Murray, but here we go into the top 10.
Okay, so Jason Plato and Alain Menu's car continues to lead as the pace car is out after 40 laps. Second place, the Morrison Baird BMW. Third place, Brabham and Brabham with the BMW. Fourth place, Jimmy Richards with the Volvo. And fifth, Patrick Watson, Neil Crompton with their Peugeot.
Harvey and Radicic in 6th place in another Peugeot, then Jones and Bieler, the Audi Quattro. Frank Bieler now at the wheel. Richards and Neil, the Nissan Primera, in 8th place. McConville is in 9th, and Warwick and Brock in 10th position. Lap 43, restart of the great race after the incident that has put Alan Jones out of the event, but the leading Renault Laguna with not Jason Plato, with Alain Menu at the wheel, is going up front.
And let me eat a little humble pie, because the procedure here is not for all the slower cars to drop back and let the quicker ones through behind the safety car, but to hold station. But nevertheless, Richard, it means to say that Alain Menu's terrific lead has been eaten into as they all closed up.
Absolutely, it's gone. There have been some winners and losers here. The loser, and the biggest loser, would be Menu. That huge lead that he had has gone. But one of the winners will have been Paul Radicic and Tim Harvey, who you recall stopped very early on, and they will have now been able, they did make a second pit stop while the pace car was out, and then catch right up onto the tail of the group.
But this is the Brad Jones car at the present moment that is heading up towards us, and it's driven by Frank Buildup, the man who I've been praising so much with every justification, I think. And it's his teammate in the second Audi, the Belgian Pro Car champion, behind him.
Let's have another look at this. He gets tapped in the rear by his own teammate here. Jean-Francois got just a little bit close, thank you.
Ran out of brakes, but no damage done.
Worst thing you can possibly do, of course, for one teammate to hit another. Bad enough to hit someone in another car, but to take one of your own out is an unforgivable sin.
And we're on lap 50 of the AMP Bathurst 1000. 50 out of 161. We're watching car 26, the Peugeot 406 entry. Neil Crompton is behind the wheel at the moment, and he is in 4th position. Alain Menu continues to lead the race. Paul Morris in 2nd place in the BMW. David Brabham in the 2nd of the BMW entries, 3rd, followed by Neil Crompton. And then Frankie Beeler in car number 1 is holding down 5th at the present time. Neil Crompton behind the wheel. We've got him on race cam. Let's get him on the microphone. Neil Crompton. Wouldn't be Bathurst without a pace car and a bit of drama.
You're right about that. Is that you, Wilco?
Yes, it is.
Good morning or afternoon or whatever it may
Afternoon.
be. Good to talk to you.
How's it going, Carl?
Not too bad, thanks. It's a great little car to drive, this Peugeot 406. I'm having a bit of fun out here. Had a little bit of an ordinary start when we got going again with the cold tyres, but I'm just working away at the back of Derek Warwick at the moment, trying to make up a bit of a gap.
Great to be back at Bathurst, Cromley.
Yeah, I love the place. Isn't it fantastic? What a racetrack.
Not much. Oh, sorry, Alan.
Neil, compared to the Honda you were driving in America, how does this feel?
Well, it's a different kind of animal, Alan. It's a little different in its characteristics in the chassis. The engine behaves slightly differently, and obviously when you come to a very fast track like this, the gearing changes the engine characteristic. But it's an excellent car, and I'm enjoying driving it. I just hope that we can keep it going and get a good result.
We're on lap 55 now, and it's Alain Menu, still 13.5 seconds ahead of Paul Morris.
Courtesy of Apollo Batteries, let's check the 5 top speeds that we've had down Conrod Straight so far. Hey, Neil is putting the boot in the Peugeot, car 26. He's the fastest man so far down the straight at 252 kilometres per hour, and then we've got 4 equal at 251 k's. Paul Morris in the BMW, Derek Warwick in the Vauxhall Vectra, Paul Radicic in his car, and well, Cleland is trying to make up for lost time.
And I see that the Volvo has lost 4 places now. Jim Richards has rejoined. He was in 4th position, and he's now down to 8th position. As we look at the lead car, the Renault Laguna of Alain Menu, the British Touring Car champion. We're looking now at the Richards car, number 34, which is in the hands of Matthew Neal and in 8th position. Exactly,
8th position, and he's lapping around about 3 seconds a lap slower than Derek Warwick in that 05 car that you were just talking about, Murray.
So 3 seconds a lap slower, and they're doing 2 minutes 20 laps, but it's going to take Derek Warwick an awful long time to take a lap out of his lead. That is the problem, of course, here, or anywhere else for that matter. If you lose a whole lap, no matter how quickly you're going, it's going to take an enormous amount of time to get it back.
Sure is. Oh, hello, car 10. This is the Toyota Camry. It's on pit straight. Come to a complete halt.
Bad spot.
We saw that car in the pits earlier on. I think it had a gearbox problem and was rolled to a halt again there, almost opposite its pit bay actually, but on the front straight on the wrong side of the wall. Glorious
panoramic shot here of Mount Panorama from the Whitman's lightship. Just another dimension to our coverage of the great race. And we've got cameras in the air, in helicopters, on the lightship, on the ground, in the cars, in the track. over the track, under the track, and stuck on the side of cars as well as we rejoin Derek Warwick.